All right, if you're learning Portuguese, you've definitely hit this wall, right? When on earth do you use o versus It feels like it should be easy, but man, getting it wrong is such a giveaway that you're not a native speaker. But here's the thing, there's a really simple idea behind it all, and once you get it, it just clicks. So let's break it down.
Okay, let's just look at this head on. Un carro. O carro. A car. The car. I mean, we all know what these mean, right? But what's really going on here in Portuguese? Trust me, nailing this one thing is a giant leap towards sounding way more natural. So let's get into it.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the main concept, then we'll look at the two types of articles, definite and indefinite. After that, we'll see how they work together, and we'll wrap up with a few key rules to lock in. Simple. All right, first things first, the core idea. And you know what? This whole thing really just boils down to one simple question. Are we talking about something specific or something general? That's it. If you can get this one distinction down, I promise the rest is going to fall right into place.
So here's a little trick I love for remembering this. Think of it like lighting. When you're talking about a specific, known thing, you're using a spotlight. It's focused, it's pointing at that one particular thing everyone knows about. But when you're talking about just any old thing, a random one, you're using a floodlight. It's broad, it covers the whole area, so spotlight for specific, floodlight for general. That's the secret sauce right there.
Okay, so let's grab our first tool from the toolbox, the definite articles. Yep, these are our spotlights. These are the words you pull out when you need to shine a light on something specific.
So the official term in Portuguese is Artigos Definidos, and you use AIM when everyone involved knows exactly what you're talking about. It's pretty much your direct translation for the in English. We're not talking about a book. We're talking about the book. See the difference?
Now, this is where Portuguese gets a little bit extra, in a good way. See, in English, we just have the, one size fits all. But in Portuguese, you've got 4 options: o, a, os, and as. And here's the non-negotiable part. The article you choose has to match the noun's gender, masculine or feminine, and its number, singular or plural, every single time.
Okay, so it's not just about pointing to something we already mentioned. There are a bunch of other situations where Portuguese just, well, it requires you to use a definite article even when it might feel weird or unnecessary in English.
Check these out. You've got to use them with people's names, so it's a Carolina. You use them for seasons, like o verão for the summer, for holidays, o Natal, for continents, a Ásia, and for most countries, o Brasil. And then, get a load of this last one, possessives. You say o meu livro, literally the my book. I know it sounds super strange to us, but that's just a core rule of Portuguese. You get used to it.
Okay, let's turn off that spotlight and switch on the floodlight. It's time to talk about the indefinite articles. These are the words we use for all the general, non-specific stuff.
The fancy name is Artigos Indefinidos, and their main job is to introduce something new into the conversation or just talk about any old thing. This is your a car, an apple, or some friends. You're not being specific, you're just talking about one or some out of many. And guess what? Just like their definite buddies, these guys also come in 4 flavors. You've got uma, uns, and umas. And the rule is exactly the same. They have to agree with the noun in both gender and number. It's the same system, just a different set of words. Okay, this is the really cool part. This is where we see how the floodlight and the spotlight work as a team to build a little story. This is where it all makes perfect sense. Let's check out an example. So, in this first part, we're introducing these kids for the very first time. We, the listener, have no idea who they are, so we use the indefinite articles, right? A rapaz, a boy, and uma rapariga, a girl. They're new to the scene.
And boom, look at the switch. Now that we've met them, we know which boy and which girl we're talking about. So the floodlight goes off and the spotlight comes on. It becomes o rapaz, the boy, and a rapariga, the girl. See that? It's just so logical. That's how you guide your listener through the conversation.
All right, let's get into our final piece of the puzzle, the exceptions. Because, sometimes the smartest move is knowing when to just say nothing, when to use no article at all.
Okay, pay attention to this one because it trips up so many learners. We just said you use an article for seasons, right? O verão. But for months, you drop it completely. You just say em janeiro. You would never, ever say em o janeiro. It's one of those little details that really separates the beginners from the more advanced speakers.
And here are a few more quick hitters for you. Most cities don't take an article, so it's just Lisboa, not a Lisboa. And kind of funny, right? Some countries don't either, including Portugal itself. You also drop it for dates and when you're speaking directly to someone, like Olá, Pedro, you wouldn't say Olá, o Pedro.
So, look, if you forget everything else, just remember this one thing. Definite articles, your O's and A's, are for specific things. That's your spotlight. Indefinite articles, your umas and umas, are for general things. That's your floodlight. Specific versus general. Honestly, that's the whole game right there.
And there you have it, the whole mystery of Portuguese articles totally demystified. You've got the main idea, you've got the rules, you even have the tricky exceptions. So now the ball's in your court. What's the first Portuguese sentence you're going to build? Go on, give it a shot. You've got this.